Good afternoon. Had to wait for a bit of a pause then for the video to catch up, and now I'm trying to expand expand my vision, which I can't actually do, which is interesting, isn't it? I can't expand the screen that is in front of me. Welcome to today's Forge Your Future Friday. I'm here to do a quick lunchtime live, either to answer any readings for people that may turn up or just to look into the energies for this weekend. What a week, huh? What a week. Just taking a moment to pause, to have time to expand our view, to really look at what is playing out in front of us and how much space we want that to take up. That small image, that large image. How much energy that's taking up in our lives, what is playing out externally. It's been a heavy week. And it's something that was seen in the Monday's Musings video, along with a lot of the reactions. Now, the reason I share that isn't to point out that the video is accurate. Of course it's going to be accurate. When we work with the tarot, when we work with these energies, when we feel into what is occurring, we become aware of potentials. One of them's going to be right? Depending on what we do with it. Now, I'm sharing that now with the Forge Your Future Friday, with the importance of how I work with the tarot, with the importance of the energy that is coming through for next year. It is one thing to feel what is going on, whether that is externally, whether that is internally for us. How does that affect our reactions? Are we taking that awareness as expansive into our own behaviours? The reason that we are made aware of potential happenings isn't to always jump in and change the outcome. It isn't always to dictate how things should be based on where we are, particularly if we're not aware fully where we are, which we're all capable of being. We're all capable of reacting rather than taking time and space to see what's going on for us. That isn't why we always know what's about to happen or what is going on. It isn't always about interfering. It isn't always about changing the outcome. Sometimes it is, and that's a fine line that we can only differentiate with experience. Our own is really, really important in that, just like anybody else's. That's how we learn. It's a little bit like watching children walk and knowing for the first time they may be unstable on their feet, they may hurt themselves in the environment that they're in, but also acknowledging that sometimes to an extent that is how we learn, through our own experiences, and allowing that to happen. We feel into what could potentially occur, so that we have the opportunity to ensure that we are ready to hold space for whatever we are asked to hold space for. This week has been very difficult for a lot of people on many levels. It has been a week of grief, it has been a week of change, it has been a week of things shifting and transforming, and it is going to get more intense. I've just been feeling into the energies for the full moon blog, and there's a lot going on with Uranus, there's a lot going on with Pluto, there's a lot going on outside as always. But as we move into this next stage, there's going to be a lot coming up for us, for an opportunity for the removal of limited perspectives, and none more so than our own capability and how we see ourselves. There are a lot of opportunities and potential to go from feeling into the energy and aligning our actions to where it needs to be. And that is different for us all. That is how we forge our future. By acknowledging what is happening and taking steps based on that, and being aware that that's what we're doing. Being aware that that's what we're doing. And taking responsibility for that, which is something that's going to really come up in the next 6 weeks, but particularly as we go into 2025. I'm just seeing if there's anyone that's put a comment in, which there isn't at the moment. The other thing that is rising, it can be really frustrating when we see old patterns playing out, when we hope that they would be finished by now, our own and the collective. And we can almost lose sight We can almost lose connection to who we are. This is where I would suggest taking some time back. There is a time to share and there is a time to receive. And if we feel with the circumstances that have occurred that we may not be at our strongest, at our most stable, which is coming up for the full moon, at our most stable, our most secure, avoiding the reaction to react, taking time and feeling into what we need in order to continue being who we are. That's how we forge our future. That's how we create the change, by recognizing what is going on from a psychic perspective, an energetic perspective, an intuitive perspective, an emotional perspective, even a fear-based past-led perspective, and aligning ourselves to the actions we now wish to see within and then externally. And if we are unable to do that, taking time out until we can. It's almost like a delayed reaction. Psychic energy is a bit like a delayed reaction. This is what's happening. Okay, how are you? Where do you stand on this? So there is a lot occurring, of course, and there is a lot coming up, and there is a lot of egoic deaths, our own included. There's a big emphasis on Pluto going into Aquarius. I just felt a load of energy coming. There's a big emphasis on Pluto going into Aquarius. Tell them about this. Which, yes, is very much about leadership and collective energies. And very much the last 16 years seeing a lot of deconstructions of old systems that no longer work. This weekend we're going to feel very almost impatient with education, with the establishments, with including the spiritual establishments. There's going to be a lot of frustration with that this weekend, because there's a lot being deconstructed from now over the next few weeks that have been ongoing for a good 16 plus years, lifetimes, right? What made us think that our own restrictions wouldn't be included in that? So anything that's coming up, any frustrations, any tiredness, any loss of oomph, any loss of spark, any loss of light or hope, or whatever that may be, it's not about bypassing it, it's not about feeling these things, but it's coming up so that we can deconstruct any older restrictions beneath it, any belief systems that now no longer serve us. Having an opportunity to feel into that this weekend is going to be pivotal. Hi Kathy, thank you for your insights. I'd love some guidance if you have a moment, please. I do. Let me have a swig of my tea. Feels really, really important, Kathy, to pause, particularly for you. It almost feels as if a knowing that whatever is panning out around you was going to happen, and feeling a relief from that, but also a type feeling. So having a pause, having a cup of tea, letting this all unfold. I've got a bit of pain in my right foot, right up into the arch of my right foot, and it's where the heart energy is, but it's also in the right, which is the masculine. So leading now from your heart. I mean, I don't know if you can seek out reflexology or something like that, but maybe having a bit of a treat or a pamper, or actually not seeing self-care as pamper. Feel that in my heart. Really, really important for you right now. Lots coming in. Taking stock, having a cup of tea, watching it play out, witnessing it, yourself included. Lots of potential here. Lots of need for self-care here. It's almost as if you open up and tap into the energy and all the answers come at once. So I know that you've said some guidance. As you're the only one here, what I would recommend is there anything in particular you want guidance on? It feels quite important to fine-tune and hone all of these energies that are going around you, because it feels very expansive. The help feels very expansive, and it's almost a little bit not overwhelming. You may believe that it's overwhelming, you may believe that it's too much, but it isn't. It's about directing that energy from the heart. That's that foot energy from the heart. These actions need to come from the heart, so too do the questions. You don't have to tell me, just give me a thumbs up or whatever when you have felt into what it is you want to know, and I will pull a card or put the question in the comments, because this feels like an opportunity to take stock. There's a lot come up that you already knew about. There's a lot that's been panning itself out. So what would you really like to know right now? And thank you for bringing this to the table, because it's available for us all. this weekend. There's a shift of grief on the lungs that's coming through, and it's a remembrance that when we let go, we can bring something new in. So what would you like to know? What would you like to bring in? When we tap into psychic energy, that's what we do. We're tapping into the potentials that we can choose to bring in if we so wish. It's not about me telling you your future, but about showing you some of the opportunities that are there and whether or not you want to take those steps. So either give me a thumbs up, Kathy, when you're ready for me to pull a card, or focus on something that you would like to know more about from your heart. And we can focus on your heart if you want as well. I should just wait for that to come through. That feels important, to take time to wait for things to come through also. Remember, with all of this, it's always a need-to-know basis. I'm not going to have information that isn't relevant to what you've asked, and yeah, it will always be on a need-to-know basis. Okay, so there is a little bit of a lag there, and there's 2 viewers now, so obviously if that other viewer, I can't see who you are, but if you do want a card pulled, please just let me know in the comments. But please bear in mind there does seem to be a bit of a lag. I'm having my internet sorted next week, so the connection should be much better, and that feels quite poignant for us all, to wait from now until next week for that connection just to be a bit more streamlined and clearer, faster, more efficient. Interesting. So I'm not getting any answer through on there at the moment, Kathy. Let me just see if there's anything that's come up on Facebook. No. Hey Kirsty, would love a card please. Hi Kaylee, on anything in particular? Just give me a shout if it's on anything in particular or just a general card. There's a real it's not a trickster energy. It is about empowering you to make any decisions here, Kaylee. It's about getting you as well as Kathy to fine-tune what it is you want, to focus on what you want. Now, you don't have to ask anything particular in the comments, but you do have to connect to that. Okay, and just give me a thumbs up when you've done that, or just let me know if there's anything in particular that you would like to know. And what I'm getting here is a sensation of wanting to know but not wanting to know. Okay, so know that you are ready to receive whatever it is you are searching for, whatever it is you are looking into, whatever it is you are uncertain of. Sometimes we can feel that we're not ready to receive it. May I have a card, please? Yes, Kate. Again, same thing. Guys, come on. 3 ladies now. Anything in particular or a card in general? Just give me a heads up in the comments what it is you would like to look at, or if you just want a card in general, because these are very expansive energies that we're working with, and from now as we go into 2025, it is about taking that potential. There's a difference between a psychic and a seer, taking that potential and working with it. Okay, so to do that, getting clear on what you're trying to tap into, what it is you actually want to know. Relationship. Thank you, Kate. I'm going to go with you, Kate, because the other 2 haven't. Okay. So Kathy's put a thumbs up, and I appreciate, Kathy, that's taken a while for you to think about and to feel into, and I want you to sit and feel into that just a little bit longer, because I'm now tuned into Kate's energy on relationships. Okay. There's a lot falling to the wayside, Kate, and obviously Kaylee and Kathy, if any of this feels applicable, please obviously take it on board as well, because when things fall to the wayside, when we get caught up in the relationships that we have with others, it can be quite difficult to discern what's ours and what isn't. So Kate, let's focus on you, let's focus on relationships. Okay, so you have the Ace of Pentacles here, and it has the Bacana rune at the very bottom. I'm working with the Runic Tarot today. I was a bit unsure about working with this energy because it's quite masculine. Okay, it's quite direct and it's quite driven energy, and that feels important to recognize. That is the gift that you actually bring to relationships. It may not always be accepted that way, and it may get people to put their barriers up to you, their shield up to you, in particular physically in relationships, or you may end up putting that barrier up against what relationships are trying to bring in. However, when we keep those healthy boundaries, when we have that shield when it is needed, there's great fruition here in the Bacana rune. There's great beginnings here, and underneath you have the Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing, things are shifting with that energy. But I do feel almost like a stab in the bottom of my left lung here. Almost there's still, right, you know when you breathe something out and you let it go, there's still remnants there, grief wise, right in the bottom of your lung when it comes to relationships that you are holding on to, that is lighting the way. And it is from your childhood, because we have the Page of Wands here. There's an almost as if it feels as if it's too big, too much, have to try and control something that is out of your control. Sweetheart, let it go, let it fly, let this relationship run its course and be what it needs to be. Let it grow to the beautiful thing that it wants to be. Okay, that's only going to happen if you let go, if those shields between you and these relationships are dropped. They're there if need be, they'll always be there if need be, but right now, letting it just spin itself out, let these things play themselves out, and let go of the need to protect yourself. I'm going to pull one more for you, Kate. 15:15. Okay. Oh, was that the time there? Oh, okay. Yes, of course, because I thought 15:15, it's only 1 o'clock, but yes, of course, where you are. You hear me? Okay. So what one step can you take for you and your relationships, Kate? You've actually got 3, because it isn't about you, just you. You have the 4. Okay, so you have the Queen of Swords here. Be direct in what it is you want. And I'm going to say this to all of you ladies. Be direct in what it is that you want. Connect to that higher vision, not only of what it is you're trying to achieve, but the very person you need to be in order to get that, because that's your higher self. If your higher self, if your future self was in these relationships, in these situations, in these questions, what would they be saying to you now? Connect to that power. Allow that in the Nine of Cups to bring forth this celebration, this joy, this wish that is trying to come through. You also have the King of Wands. Kate, that feels particularly important to you, not to go charging in with your actions. You don't need to defend the actions. Allow them to just transform the changes that are occurring around you just by standing in them. And then the Page of Pentacles. So the physical actions here need a little bit of maturation. That shield is still there. It's there as and when needed. Okay, moving on with it. Don't put it down, don't put it in front of you, have it by your side as needed. When it comes to what your passion, your drive, your ambition, your connection is asking of you now, allow your actions to be authentically aligned to your spiritual self. When I say that, what I mean is what turns you on, what brings you alive, what brings that zest of life to you. It's really, really important, because it's that that's going to give you the emotional joy, that's going to help you stay more centered in your mindset. Because the mindset, watch that shadow feminine when it comes to the mindset, Kate, because that can be quite and harsh. Okay, so just ensuring that you're being connected, not defensive in your relationships, particularly with yourself, my love. Bloody fab to see you live. Oh, fab to see you as well, my darling. Underneath, Kate, I just want to show you, you do have the 3 of Cups here. Yeah, there is a beautiful family celebration, a beautiful chance of bringing all these relationships together, recognizing underneath that the 3 of Pentacles, that they actually work with each other. Okay, so ensuring that it works for all of you is what's going to bring forward the change that you're all looking for, really. You're all looking for it, really, just in your own different ways. So what do they all have in common? What do these views from all these different relationships all have in common? And allow that to guide you forward. Yep. Right. Okay, Kathy. There's an urge almost to put you on the back burner, and I want to avoid that. I really want to avoid that, and that feels really important. And in that, I feel my throat quite sore, quite raw. Quite ready. I'm being drawn to a picture on my wall, Kathy, that I painted for the fall. And there's some flowers there, but they're reminding me of strawberries. And I say that because it's the pick your own. I'm being really drawn to the seeds of the strawberries and the sweetness of the strawberries, but almost a sensation of never getting to eat the bloody strawberries. All this work being put in, all this showing other people where the beauty is, the sweetness is, all of this, and never actually being able to pick your own. Change that. This is the Fool card. See that from a different perspective. Acknowledge where there have been times perhaps when you haven't been able to because there's been things going on or whatever, but also when there is a chance for you to do that, to actually allow yourself permission to do that. Pick your own journey here. Feels really, really important not to put you on the back burner. Yes, I feel as if you would wait patiently, beautifully, as if that's almost become your mantra. That you do enough affirmations about patience, maybe do some about your own needs instead. It almost feels as if there's it's not a holier than now, but just like an acceptance of, okay, I'll wait, but there's part of you that now wants to move that forward. It being a deconstructing of an old belief that you need to wait, that it's the right thing to do to wait. Yes, then. But let's feel into what's going on now, because that is the Fool card. So let's feel into those thumbs that you put up. There is a spark there, it's finding it, okay? There's a nausea there. A dis-ease almost with what you've wanted, a disconnection with what you've wanted for so long. Okay. A sadness there, a grief there. Having to wait for things to pan out, for people to have their journey, which they couldn't have done without you. And I really feel that. I'm not normally into the medium side of things, but then we're all mediums, right? Which feels quite important to recognise that what you're doing is mediumship. We're all mediums in our own way. We're either mediums for creativity, for emotions, for, yeah, whatever is coming through, but there's a lot of gratitude there for the time that you have given for other situations. There's forgiveness there. There's a, I don't normally say it, but a moving on there. Almost like a permission. Okay. So I felt really undecided between the cards there, and the one that I've actually picked is the Five of Cups. So being in that state of grief, but that state of grief almost being the norm now. That's that feeling of waiting and just being okay to wait and putting you on the back burner. And actually in this card you can see that the character is starting to lose her humanness. She's starting to lose her skin. She's starting to lose her life, her vavavum, her joie de whatever it's called, her oomph, her flow, her beauty. It feels like it's been dark for very, very long, actually. But the card that I was undecided between was that and the Sun. Not everything is light and love and fluffiness, as you know, Kathy. But equally, I'm going to invite you to feel into that not everything is darkness and heavy either. Underneath that you have the Wheel of Fortune. There is an opportunity of change. The wheel goes up, the wheel goes down. There feels like there's almost a shut-off disconnect to that potential. I wouldn't say that there's a happiness in sadness, but I'm hearing the song Misery Loves Company. Seek out different experiences. That Fool card, right? Pick your own. Seek out something different that's going to give you the seeds to grow something beautiful. It is from a different perspective, from a different place, and that includes your own energy as well. And that can be really hard when things have been as heavy as they've been for so long. No one's expecting you to run outside in your chariot, although I do hear why not? Why not? You would have years ago. No one's expecting you to run outside in your chariot as if nothing's happened, guns are blazing, look at me, I'm the spark of life. I mean, you can do that. You can try that. If it feels so far away, you've got nothing to lose, right? But step by step, one small step that's different, that brings you a little bit more joy each time. Just so that you can help move yourself away and through these heavy energies. Because the change is there in the Wheel of Fortune, and underneath you have the High Priestess. Remember that the High Priestess, Persephone, goes down to the underworld for 6 months and then comes back up. Come back, the wolves. I feel the energy with the wolf with you, remembering that wolves go away, they learn what they need to learn, and they return to the pack, and your pack may be changing. You may need to change your pack. If what you're wanting to share isn't relevant to where you are, pick a different pack. Over the next few weeks, a lot of people are going to be feeling into it now being time for their message to be shared, and you've waited a long time. Take this moment to get clear on what it is you want to share, clear on what it is you've gained. What have been the treasures of going down to the underworld for as long as you have? What insights, what wisdom has come through? How can you take that out into the world? I walked past the shop today and there was a man selling poppies. And I said to my husband, you know, there's different people in this world, isn't there? There's those that have no inclination towards the poppies, you know, not interested at all. Those that wear the poppies, those that sell the poppies, those that have fought amongst the poppies, and the rare person that has experienced all three. Kathy, you're someone that's done all three. You've experienced it, you're behind it, and you're able to share that with others. And that is where the joy is going to come. So bit by bit, take this moment, next few weeks, to feel into what you've gained. Find the light in your journey. Stand in it and take that forward now. I hope that helps. It was a very long energy there that we were working through. A journey, yeah. And recognizing that that's what you offer in what you share. It's not just a quick card. It's not just a quick fix. It is an experience. What you're sharing is experience, Kathy, and standing behind that. Kaylee. Okay, Kaylee, yours came through quite quick. Click. Click. Feeling into the intuitive wisdom that you've got is what's going to bring things through quite quickly for you. It's going to click into place, but you must acknowledge with the Seven of Pentacles here the direction in which you're going based on how much you've grown. Okay, and it's how much you've emotionally grown, and nurture that growth, Kaylee. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be deep. You don't have to earn anything more than what you've already done. You have enough to move forward, and it's about recognizing that. It's about recognizing that you've kind of reached the point of not no return, but in order for something different to come through now, it is about recognizing you're ready. Okay, going out there. Did you actually ask for anything in particular? You set your intention. Yes. Okay, so you've set your intention. So now nurture that intention. Allow that intention to help you grow. Okay, the card underneath that you have is the Tower card. I think it's a big decision this week, needed after a long winding path of abandonment. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Take time with it, Kathy. Take time with it. Going back to you, Kaylee, it's okay for these disruptions to come in. It's okay to get distracted. Don't forget the intention underneath. You can't be everything to everybody. I was going to say you can, but actually it feels quite important to recognize that you can't. You can still hold space for others. You can still be aware of what's going on. You can still be mother to others. You can still support others, but only based on where you are. So always coming back to the self, always coming back to looking after yourself, ensuring that you have what you need based on what you now want to achieve, because it's that that's going to bring in the change. If you're trying to shift something from where you were, it's not going to happen. If you're trying to bring in something based on the old you, it's not going to happen. You have grown, you have matured, you've stepped into a beautiful motherly figure here. How about using that energy for yourself? Because if you can give, and this goes to all of you, Yeah, we talk about relationships, we talk about intentions, we talk about decisions and everything else. If you can give the guidance, the love, the support, the light, the wisdom to yourself that you give to others, how would that change your life? That's the whole point of reflection. It's the whole point of psychic energy. You're being given an opportunity to feel into what you now need. How is this going to change your life? Kaylee, it's important that you take everything you've discovered and nurture your intention. If you want it, go and get it. Allow it to grow. Allow those changes to come in. Queen of Pentacles. It's all down to your body. Yes, there are little ones here, the Page of Cups, that want your attention and everything else, okay? Look after yourself as the physical foundation for everything else that's going on around you. The rest will sort itself out, but you must nurture yourself. Otherwise, what happens in these relationships, in these decisions, in these intentions, we go at them from the energy that we can give them. And if that isn't strong, grounded, stable and secure, nor is the outcome going to be. Okay, so Kaylee, bring it back to yourself always. What do I need in this moment? What advice would I give my best friend or someone I loved or my children? Show that compassion, nurture and support to yourself and watch the changes come in, because only then will you recognize how much you've grown. Yeah, you've really, really grown here. Okay, I hope that helps. I'm just over time, so we're going to give one card for the weekend. And it's the Ace of Wands and Justice. The balance, the new beginnings, the changes, the decisions, the relationships, the shifts that we want are only going to come if we are in harmony with ourselves and where we currently find ourselves. Okay, everything in life is a reflection and an opportunity to stand your ground, to be in your greatest potential. In this Justice card, we have the wolf in the background. Feel that calling of who you're here to be and allow that to cut through the wheat and the chaff, your own included. Sending you all lots of love, and I'll see you Monday with Monday's musings. Take care, guys. Bye.